phone the whole time. I had a phone the whole time in jail. I vlogged the whole experience, and I'm going to expose the corruption and everything.
Wait, no,
No, it's just corruption. But you pay the guard, you're good to go, and yeah.
How'd you get a phone?
How did I get a phone? I just got a bro. You can do anything. But money talks in Philippines, but
Okay. Oh wait, an iPhone.
This is Vitali, one of the most infamous prank YouTubers ever, and this is what he looks like after spending 10 months locked inside a jail in the Philippines. The same guy who went viral for videos like Gold Digger Prank ended up in a situation far more serious than anything he ever filmed. Over time, Vitali moved away from regular prank videos and started live streaming himself going out in public, saying wild things, bothering strangers, and pushing people just to get reactions. In 2025, everything finally caught up to him. While streaming in the Philippines, he took things too far, and this time there was no easy way out. After getting released, Vitali started talking about what he called inhumane conditions and corruption during his time locked up. But what he didn't expect was that his own clips would spark something much bigger. That footage triggered an internal crackdown inside the Philippine Bureau of Immigration, with multiple officers removed or dismissed, and even the president ordering a formal investigation into corruption claims. Even now, the situation is not fully over, as authorities have looked into the possibility of extraditing him back to the Philippines. To understand how he ended up here, you have to go back to how everything started. Vitali built his name off shock content, loud pranks, awkward setups, and pushing strangers until they reacted. That formula brought him millions of views, but it was always built around bothering people.
El pelo, bueno.
Mira.
He said he's down for the good there.
Move.
Go. I think no. All right, come here.
What is it?
We're cutting your hair, baby.
It's okay. No, it's okay. Let's give him a hot chip. He wants to go home. I give him a hot chip.
Bueno, cómete esta mierda.
He's gonna eat it. Look, it's a hot chip.
Es un hot
Look
chip.
at it. They're listening today.
Es un hot chip. Cómetelo.
Motherfucker.
It worked for a long time, but it also created a pattern that followed him for years. Things took a serious turn in 2020 when he was arrested after attacking a woman while under the influence. That moment damaged his image heavily. He disappeared for a while, then came back with an apology and said he had changed. But when he returned to streaming, it quickly became clear that not much was different. He went back to approaching random people, saying uncomfortable things, and trying to force reactions just like before. The problem was that the internet had changed. What used to go viral no longer had the same impact, and people were less interested. Instead of slowing down, Vitali pushed things further. Around 2024, he shifted into so-called predator catching streams. He collaborated with other creators, brought in well-known guests, and started confronting alleged predators on camera. At first, the content gained massive attention, and viewers were drawn in by the idea of exposing bad behavior. But there were clear issues with how it was handled. Most of the people confronted were not actually arrested or charged. It began to feel less like real justice and more like public humiliation for content. The streams were also filled with gambling promotions, which made everything seem more focused on profit and engagement rather than helping anyone. Even with the success, the same pattern remained, doing whatever it takes to keep people watching. That same mindset continued when he moved into travel streaming in the Philippines. At first, it seemed like he might try something different, showing locations or interacting with people in a more normal way. But that quickly changed. He returned to harassing strangers, making offensive comments, taking items, and trying to provoke reactions for clips. If someone ignored him, he pushed even harder.
Huliin mo, kuya. Huliin mo. Cop doesn't want to do anything. He's just
Why does he not react?
Guys,
He's not chasing me.
I know.
I want you to chase me.
Other creators warned him that he was going too far, but he ignored them. In his view, attention meant success, even if it was negative. That mindset is what led directly to his arrest. After multiple incidents during his streams, authorities stepped in and detained him. At first, he appeared relaxed, with clips showing him smiling, but the situation was far more serious than he realized. Then everything went silent. For 10 months, there were no updates from him. No streams, no posts, nothing. At the beginning, he likely expected a quick resolution, possibly deportation or a fine. Instead, the situation became much more serious. The Philippine government treated the case as an example and did not move quickly to resolve it. This situation is similar to what happened to Johnny Somali, another streamer who faced serious consequences after causing disruptions abroad. Governments are now paying closer attention to this type of content, especially when it involves foreign creators harassing locals for views. Authorities made their position clear in a statement. This is not just a matter of administrative procedure. It's about protecting the integrity of our immigration laws. Foreign nationals who abuse our hospitality and violate our laws must face the consequences. They also emphasized that there would be no special treatment. At one point, it was revealed that both Russia, his home country, and the United States, where he held a green card, initially refused to accept him. That left him stuck with no clear timeline for release. He had not been sentenced yet and remained in custody, waiting for the process to move forward. After about 10 months, there was finally a resolution. The government released a court video confirming that Vitali would be deported back to Russia and that his time was considered served. In that announcement, they said, "We have no ill feelings towards Vital. He has served his time. He has shown remorse, and he is now a free man when he returns to Russia." When people saw him after those 10 months, it was clear the experience had an impact. He looked more serious, had grown a beard, and no longer showed the same careless attitude seen before. It was a noticeable shift from earlier footage where he appeared relaxed and unbothered. Online reactions were strong. As clips of his past behavior circulated again, many people felt that the outcome matched his actions. A lot of people online saw it as justice. Some were even saying he aged like 10 or 13 years during those 10 months inside. And when you look at what he was doing before getting arrested, it makes more sense why people reacted like that. On January 18th, Vitali was finally deported back to Russia. And he didn't waste any time sharing his experience online. He posted saying, "After 290 days in a Philippines jail with rats, cockroaches, and 35 degrees Celsius heat, I am finally free."
They're my mates here, and I can't talk too long, but here you go. This is our breakfast. Yes, why is it green? Don't ask me. One rice and one fish. I don't even want to know what that is. And our dinner. Wow. So much food. Let me show you why. If you guys are wondering why these bottles are here, that's rats protection. This place is infested with rats, cockroaches, hundreds of mosquitoes during the night here. It's absolutely disgusting. We've been trying to reach out to human rights people. This is so inhumane, but no one's responding. But this message is not about me. This is a message about all the people that are suffering here. And I will tell you in 1 second. Come check out the bed. This is how we shower.
They really tried to break me, but it built me out of those 290 days. I spent 91 in complete isolation. They wanted me gone, but I'm still here. All glory to God. Along with that, he shared videos that showed what looked like very harsh conditions. The cells were small, trash was everywhere, and people were packed tightly into spaces that didn't look livable. It looked uncomfortable and stressful, and even compared to something like The Shawshank Redemption, it seemed rough. Over the next few days, he kept posting more clips. You could see the cages they were kept in, how they had to wash using small amounts of water, and other details that showed how difficult daily life was in that environment. At the same time, it became clear that his mindset hadn't really changed much. Not long after getting out, he went right back into content. He started linking up again with creators like Aiden Ross and others in that same space. Just one day after posting those prison clips, he was already appearing at events, trying to get back into the spotlight. After being offline for almost a year, he had a lot to catch up on, and he moved fast. One of the first viral moments after his return came from a boxing event hosted by Adam, 22.
Yo! What?
Question for Adam. Adam, as you know, I spent 10 months, 290 days in prison. Can you do me a favor? Can I fuck Lena tonight?
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna be honest, I think you gotta work your way up.
Honestly?
You didn't have enough practice on those Filipino gang members in there?
Nah, they were Asian. I couldn't feel anything.
During the event, Vitali grabbed a microphone and asked Adam if he could sleep with his wife, saying it was because he hadn't been with anyone during his time in prison. Adam shut it down quickly, likely because it was happening live in front of a crowd. The moment still spread online fast, showing that Vitali was already back to chasing reactions and attention. Not long after that, Aiden Ross brought Vitali onto a stream to talk about everything he experienced. At first, the conversation focused on what you would expect. He talked about the poor conditions, the food, the overcrowding, and the overall environment. But then he mentioned something that caught people's attention. He said that he had bribed guards multiple times while he was inside. According to him, that was just how things worked there. If you wanted to avoid problems or make things easier, you had to pay. He said he used money to get access to his phone and record videos while still in custody, basically preparing content for when he got out. And if that was happening, it raises bigger questions about what else might have been going on behind the scenes. He also said he plans to make a documentary about the way people were treated in that prison. On its own, that might not sound surprising, especially after seeing the conditions. But the important part is how he said it. This wasn't a private conversation. It was said live, in front of thousands of viewers, and it spread across the internet very quickly. That is where things took a serious turn. Clips of him talking about bribing guards started circulating everywhere, and it caught the attention of people who take that kind of thing seriously.
All right, here we go. We're going on to the dust.
Yo, Brock, don't do it yet.
His big hard boner.
Oh, it's pretty hard. Should I actually? Okay.
Keep it on the desk.
No faking it. I'm gonna take out my dick.
Take it out.
You gotta grab it. I'm taking it out.
It's a pre-workout. What do you mean it's on, bro?
Sometimes the things people say online without thinking can have bigger consequences than expected. In this case, that stream pushed the Filipino government into action. They launched a full investigation into the prison where he had been held, and in less than 24 hours after those clips spread, things started moving fast. Several staff members resigned, others were fired, and some were even arrested after the investigation began. Even though officials publicly said that Vitali was exaggerating and called his comments rage bait, the actions taken told a different story. This wasn't just small staff getting in trouble. The main warden of the prison resigned, along with multiple other officials. Reports started coming out suggesting deeper issues, including corruption networks and even illegal activity happening inside the system. What started as a streamer talking about his experience turned into a much larger situation. It became so serious that Bongbong Marcos himself addressed it and confirmed that it would be investigated. That alone shows how big the situation became. A YouTuber known for prank content ended up exposing something that reached the highest levels of attention. Now, a few weeks after his release, Vitali has mostly gone back to his usual routine. After doing interviews and talking about his experience, he's back to making content. That includes his predator catching streams and collaborations with other influencers like N3ON, who he had issues with before, but has since worked with again. But even with everything that happened, it doesn't mean there has been a full change in who he is. He still seems focused on getting attention and creating viral moments. At one point, he even ran into trouble again on streaming platforms after controversial content during a long stream. So while his situation in the Philippines was serious, it hasn't fully changed his direction. That said, there are some signs he might be adjusting slightly. He has stepped back from directly harassing random people in public, especially when traveling. Instead, he seems to be focusing more on content that doesn't involve strangers, although it still pushes boundaries in different ways. When you step back and look at the whole situation, it's kind of unexpected. A prank YouTuber known for simple viral videos ended up exposing serious issues inside a prison system. It's not something anyone would have predicted. Sometimes the situation someone ends up in creates an outcome much bigger than they planned. At the same time, Vitali is still in a position where things could go either way. He now has the chance to move in a better direction and avoid the same mistakes, or he could fall back into the same patterns that caused all of this in the first place. Other creators like Johnny Somali are still dealing with serious consequences, showing that not everyone gets a second chance like this. Right now, it looks like he is trying to rebuild, but whether that lasts or not is still unclear. His future really depends on what he does next, and whether he actually learned anything from those 10 months. If you made it this far, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think about this whole situation, and I'll catch you in the next one.